Hello, everyone. Hello, lovely people. So, welcome to our second episode of our live streaming edition. And in this platform, it's all about helping people from developing countries, especially Africans, to study abroad for free. Our main focus and our main aim is to help brilliant but needy students. Our lives has really changed traveling outside Africa, and our main focus is to help people also go out of Africa, learn a lot, and go back, give back to our continent and our nation. Today, I'm very happy to have one special guest with us, one special guest that I really cherish a lot. I just met him last week on his YouTube channel. And in fact, once I just saw the video, I was like, what? Who has been doing this work for about a year now? All he does on his platform is to teach or guide people about how to apply for scholarship to China themselves without using an agent. And in fact, I have to really appreciate him and may God richly bless you. And
Okay.
it is I really feel sorry that your channel is still very small, and I'll
Yeah,
try to do my best to promote your channel
thank you.
because you are doing God's work, and I think your channel should be grown more than it is now. So
Thank you,
guys,
man.
you can check his channel out, and I'll be sharing his channel on several platforms too as well. So Dr. Aboagye has lived in China since 2017 from my research, and yeah, he's currently a PhD student in China. And without wasting my time, I'd like to welcome him and he will introduce himself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Dax. Thank you. Thank you so much. The moment you got in touch, when I saw your comment, I'm like, oh, let me take time to check your platform. I checked it. I'm like, wow, people are doing a
Yeah.
lot of stuff here in China. But I'm happy to also have met you, and you're also doing great. Thank you for the opportunity also to share. Yes. So if I want to even introduce myself, I would say that my name is Emmanuel Mains Abuaji, just like you shared. But
Yeah.
a lot of people call me ABJ. So that is why my channel is ABJ Vlogs. But a
Yeah.
little thing about my channel is that I had a very kind of like a bigger platform
Yeah.
about a year or two ago with
Oh,
about
okay.
3,000 subscribers. But unfortunately, due to several hacks,
Oh,
it's got to a stage that they used it for or use self clicks, and then YouTube took it
yes.
down. Yeah, so I tried to get it back, but still they were not really letting me in. So I decided to start all over again. So I'm doing my best, and thank you for also promoting my channel as well. So I've
Oh,
been yes, I've actually been in China. I came here 2019. Yes, 20.
oh,
So
2019.
yeah,
Is it?
2019. So approximately about like 5 years. So I did my master's here in the same university, Zhejiang University of Economics and Law in Wuhan, and right from there I got opportunity to continue my PhD. So that's my PhD, and I'm in the final year, and hopefully by June this year I should be done, and then looking for other opportunities. And I'm from Ghana, yes, specifically the western part of Ghana, Takrady. So thank you for the
Oh, okay.
opportunity to be on your channel today.
Wow. So I'm so happy. Yeah, he's also from Ghana. Those who don't know, I'm also from Ghana as well. And we are so happy. I'm so happy to have you today. So why I went through your channel, I went through several videos, and I was like, what has really inspired you or motivated you to be teaching people how to apply for scholarship for free? Because
Yeah.
when I came to China, I realized there are several people who have been teaching, like charging a lot, about $2,000. At least you should charge $100 for that. Why have you been teaching people for free? What is really motivating you?
Yeah, yeah. So this particular question, I think you should be even the 1,001 person asking me this question. And even yesterday, I was talking to a friend about this same question, and I was telling the friend that
Yeah,
when I feel it is time for me to earn money from this, I will.
yeah,
But at the moment, I don't feel that I should earn money from this. And so the whole thing started way back 2016 when I was doing my service as a teaching assistant in K University. And at that time we were all looking for opportunities and then wanting to leave the shores of Ghana. So
Yes.
then I tried to apply, but I didn't know anything about Chinese government scholarship or any Chinese government, like any scholarship at all in China. So
Yes.
I was applying to the other countries like UK, Canada, like, we were trying, but the
Yes.
admissions were coming, but no, how do you call it? No funding. Yes, even if you
Yes.
get the funding, it's not the full, and then money to support would have been the issue. So a
Yes.
friend of mine who is currently in Canada, but he
Yes.
also passed through China then before going to Canada. But he told me that, oh, Aboagye, I've seen this man who is an agent and he can really help us to travel to China and all of that. I said, okay, why not? Let's try him. So we spoke
Yeah.
to the man, and the man, I didn't know that they charged that huge. That even then, 2016, the man mentioned that when everything goes through, he was going to
Yes.
take 10,000 Ghana cities. Like maybe it should be more than thousand. Then I think then it was like 1,300 or something dollars. And he said,
Dollars.
I was
Yes.
like, what? I didn't know you people charge that
Scholarship.
much. So
And
I gave the man the opportunity. I said, okay, you let's give it a try. My father said, okay, you try. If it is successful, we see what we will do. And so the
yes.
man started the whole process. And along the line, I could see that the responses were not coming. You call
Yes.
him and you ask him that, please, why is it that my scholarship thing is not come? He will tell you that, wait, those kind of stuff. So
Yes.
then it was so difficult for me. And one day I was there, and my professor then, he was like, but you are good with the internet. Why don't you check yourself and see
Set.
if yes? And I'm like, oh yeah, that
Yes.
is true. But so I just quickly went online,
Yes.
Facebook, and then I checked, and I realized that, oh, the scholarship had even been released and people were even planning on how to
Going
go to
to.
school. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and this man is telling me that it is not time. So to
Wow.
cut a long story short, I now had to gather my way out. I'm sure in the course of our discussion, we'll go deeper into it. So I don't want to even go ahead of you. So um, the whole process was like, oh, I went through the whole thing, and then I got the opportunity myself and came to China. So when I got here, I realized
Yeah.
that, well, I didn't pay that huge amount because I
Oh,
did everything
okay.
myself. And so
Yes.
why should I allow people to pay 10,000 cities, 20,000? Because I came to meet a friend then who had paid like $2,000
Dollar.
then. And I'm like,
Yes.
wow. So I took it upon myself that, okay, then for the period that I'll be a student in China, once I have
Yes.
not established the company myself, that,
Yes.
okay, this is
Yes.
my official duty or job that I want to do, I would also
Yes.
want to do this as a way of helping a lot of people to get this opportunity, because then you could see that people who are brilliant in your opening statement, you mentioned that people have the knowledge, they are
Yes.
very brilliant, but how to get money to support has been the difficulty. But so I said, then let me do this, and then also as a way of also helping people. And by the grace of God, I've been able to help a number of people to also come to China, and not only in China, some have also even got the opportunity to go to
To.
Canada, US, and no, Canada, and then Europe mainstream, where
Yes.
I have not even gotten the opportunity to go. So it's just the money bit. The money bit was the sole aim that, oh, let me just do this, help people, and then when it is time for us to also maybe set up an official company, that this is my company, fine. But
Yes.
then I feel that it is a way of giving back to society and helping others to also at least get something to do with themselves.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm really impressed. And in fact, I have to really appreciate what you have been doing. And,
Thank you so much. Thank you
God
so
richly, richly bless you. For you, fortunately, you were even able to search everything online to even
much.
come.
Yeah,
Yeah, for you, yeah. I realize in Ghana, even some people, how to even get the documents, how to
exactly.
get police clearance. Sometimes you have to,
Exactly.
if you are not in Accra, how to
Yeah,
travel there, even passport and stuff.
exactly.
Only that is very difficult for some people to even afford,
Yeah.
not to talk of $2,000. So this is something that you are doing that I really appreciate. This is more than God's word.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. So, um, from what you said, meaning, it's just because of the opportunity that you came to China.
Yeah.
You never wanted or ever dreamt of coming to China.
Not
China
at
was
all. Not at all. China was never part of the equation.
oh wow. I
Yeah.
see so many people. So many people are back home. They don't have the opportunity to study in the US. They are always focusing on US, Canada, and I advise them. I guide them. Apply to China. I'll give them all the details. They say they don't want China.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. I am from Ghana, but sadly to say, even in Ghana, you can't compare any of our best universities to
Yeah.
universities in China.
Yeah.
You know,
Very true.
so
Very true.
one thing most people are missing is they don't know about the positive side of China.
Yeah. Very true.
They don't know the positive side of China, and it's so easy, as you said. If you want to go to Europe, US, and all those stuff, China can be a way through the US or Canada or all those things. So
Yeah.
this is to motivate anybody who is watching or who's here to watch that. Yeah, China is really advanced, and what you know about China on social media is totally different. That is why
Exactly.
we have ABJ Vlogs TV on YouTube channel, Dash channel, where you can know much about the lifestyle in China. So that is one main reason why most people are missing. They don't know why they should study in China. So I would like you to ask, what are some of the few reasons that
Yeah.
you think people in Africa should study in China?
All right, thank you once again. So I think you rightly mentioned now when it comes to China, the perception is totally different. You know, back then when I said I was coming to China, people were like China, like even some very good friends were like China. You know, we are looking at Canada, Charlie. What are you going
Yes,
to do in China? Yes. So well, coming to China,
ye-
my main motive for coming to China first was because
yes,
of the good scholarship attached to it. You know, a lot of
yes,
countries give opportunities, they give funding and all of that. But you know,
yes,
China, the kind of funding that China gives
yes,
is very good. It
ye-
supports a lot because and the other thing is that China has opened its borders to admit a lot of students, unlike other countries. And so
yes,
if you want one of the places to study, then you should always be considering China as a way out because one, they have good scholarship. Two, they
yes,
have the opportunities, and the universities are like several universities here. I mean,
yes,
Wuhan and in Wuhan alone, they should have about 50 plus universities. So you
yes,
can count them. A lot of universities here in China. And when we talk about facilities, I'm from Ghana, but the
yes,
kind of facilities we enjoy here, our country, we cannot compare ourselves to China. And so the educational
exactly.
facilities alone is also another thing that you have to consider. And the fact that now a lot of people are coming, we have a lot of
Yes,
international students. So it's not like before when, like maybe the 2009, 2008, there where you come
yes,
and then it's very difficult for you to
very
find.
few people.
Now there are a lot of people here. So when you come
Yes,
here, it's just like being in the Europe and all of that. And then you mentioned a very important thing that when you come to China, it also opens avenue and opportunities for you. Now I know friends who also
yes,
decided not to come to China. But when they came to China, now they have even found their real selves, like because of the things that because now some people came to study but have turned
yes,
into businessmen. Some people came to study
exactly.
and now they have turned into like they've even gotten the opportunity to go to the mainstream Europes and all of that that they were even thinking of. And so
Yes,
basically for me when I was coming, my reason was one, just to because of the funding. But now when
yes,
I go here, I realize that no, there are a lot of things that I can do here in China. Yes, in terms of like there are a lot of opportunities. So once you are looking
yes.
out for a study program, then you should also be considering China. So for me it was funded, but now there are several of them to add. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. In fact, the opportunities in China is so, 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 so much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
personally, my life has really changed coming to China. My mindset before and after coming to China, I was like, what? This is how China can do to my life. I
Yeah.
only thought back after my bachelor's I'll just be leaving. Then after bachelor, only to see me in my master's still in China.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
there are several opportunities. So that is why we have this platform to
Mhm.
educate most of you. Most people are always thinking we are here for propaganda or we are paid. I don't know if you have had such comments
Oh
on
yeah,
your channel.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
most people always think we are here for propaganda. We are being paid by the government to do these things. No, 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 no.
yeah. Some
Never
people
at
ask you
all.
why am I doing these videos?
Yeah. The funny thing is, even yeah, most people who are backward, they'll be, you are you
Yeah,
paid by the government to do this?
yeah,
It's never so. This is the reality
yeah,
about the life and the experience we have had in China. You can ask yourself, if we are not enjoying or life is not better here, like will we even be thinking of staying here?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that is it. I'm so happy you mentioned
yeah,
all those advantages or of studying in China. And one thing that most people are really scared of is the Chinese language. I personally, I had an in-law who was already in China, so I didn't have that. I didn't really want China, but I wanted to be in China
okay,
because he was already here. He could apply everything. But my biggest challenge was the Chinese language.
okay,
I always ask him, am I learning in Chinese or English? That was my biggest challenge. But trust me, he told me he should apply, I should come and learn Chinese language. And I was like, what? Chinese language? But now I came here as a pharmacy student. I wish I even studied Chinese because Chinese, me being able to speak just HSK4 has opened so many opportunities for me, more than the actual major why I came to China. So one thing I'd like to advise all those who are still doubting because of the language, trust me, having the language is also a skill.
yeah,
If you're able to learn Chinese language, it's a very big skill which can also make your CV so great and so powerful
yeah,
for any avenues you can think of. And you should ask yourself, if some of us have been able to do it, we can speak little Chinese. Why can't you? Everything is possible.
yeah,
It's only losers who always think this is not possible to
yeah,
me. Yeah. So about the Chinese language. So in summary of it all, I'd like us to start about the application process.
okay, okay,
Tell us much about the application process. I Most people want bachelor degree, about
exactly,
scholarship bachelor degree. Most of them are really eager to offer bachelor scholarship and stuff.
yeah,
So I'd like you to start from the
okay,
bachelor degree
okay,
scholarships.
okay. So
Yeah.
I always say that or people who comment under my videos or get in touch, even get more of emails than even the actual comment. And then some
Yes.
people who get to or who got to know my phone number from my previous channel even WhatsApp
Yeah.
me directly. Now
Yeah.
I tell them that anybody who contacts me about application, that's what I tell them. That the
Yeah.
first thing that you have to put in mind is that it once you because our main motive is to escape that agency factor where you're not going to
Yes.
pay. So if you want to
Yes.
escape the agency factor, then it
Yes.
needs a lot of commitment, dedication, and then
Yes.
patience. At least these three things you should have them, because
Yeah.
sometimes I don't really falter the agencies who take money, because the whole process is work.
It's not
The,
easy.
yes,
Yeah.
the whole
That's
process is
the
work.
reality.
Yeah. And so when somebody contacts me, I tell them that there are two options. It's either you go by an agency or you apply yourself. But if you want to
Yeah.
apply yourself, then you need patience, you need to be consistent, and then all of these things.
Yes.
But the main thing is that now, we're starting with the like the bachelor scholarship. You know,
Yes.
the bachelor scholarship, it is a little challenging, or that should be the most difficult part of the whole thing. And mostly I
Yeah.
get a lot of comments from like people who want to do bachelors. It is one of the
Yes.
difficult things to, or the difficult scholarships to get. uh
Yes.
let me take the scholarships in stages. Now we have the
Yeah.
main Chinese government scholarship, and then we have the university scholarships. So when it comes to
Yes.
bachelors, under Chinese government scholarship, we have the type A and then we have the type B. But if you
Okay.
want to study Chinese, like if you want to study in bachelor, like you want to offer a bachelor's program, and then you want a
Yes.
full scholarship, usually I advise that you go by the Chinese government scholarship type A. The reason is
Yes.
that That is where most of the countries have categorized their bachelor students to. And
Yes.
everything, both sides will come with a positive and then a negative. So the
Negative side.
positive about the type A is that you're able to
Yes.
win a full scholarship. uh, that is if you are selected by your government, because that one goes through the scholarship secretariat in your country, through the Chinese embassy, and to the school. And so if you are selected in your country, then it means that you're going to get a full scholarship. But the disadvantage is not disadvantage. The challenge
Yeah.
is that you're going to
Yes.
study in Chinese.
Chinese language.
You are going to do 1 year Chinese language, pass your HSK4, and now start your major. That is
Oh,
a
okay. So, sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
meaning that the type A, they cannot apply themselves. They have to apply through their country.
No, yeah, but they will do their own application, but you have to make all the application and submit your final documents to the scholarship secretariat of your country, and then they would shortlist. I don't know whether they do the first shortlisting, but
Yes.
eventually it is the Chinese embassy in your country that is going to
Yes.
contact you. And so in that
Okay.
one, you are allowed to select like three universities, like first choice, second choice, third choice. And so when you are
Okay.
selected, maybe depending on the school that picked you, the
Yes.
embassy will call you that, oh, you have been shortlisted for this, maybe come for an interview or blah. Like when
Yes.
it is done, you come, but just that you would have to study in Chinese. For the type A, you would automatically study in Chinese. But when you apply for the
Chinese.
type B,
Yes.
now that yeah, the type B, very few universities offer the type B for bachelors
Yes.
because they don't have a lot of English programs. Very, very few universities have
Yes.
English programs for bachelors. And so that
Yes.
becomes the challenge. That is if you want to apply through the Chinese government scholarship. But when you shift
Yes.
and you want to apply through the normal university scholarship, most
Yes.
of the universities don't have full scholarship for bachelors. And that is what saddens me when I see the posters going around that
Of agents.
we have full
Yes.
scholarship for bachelors, we have full scholarship. And when you talk to these people who said they have one full scholarship, they will tell you, oh, I have full tuition. Full
Yes.
tuition is not full scholarship because we have scholarship that will give you accommodation, that will give you monthly stipend. And so
Yes.
that is the challenge. For bachelors, if you want to study in English, the best to me that you might probably get is to get a full tuition waiver. It is just
Yes.
recently that there is this school in Beijing, that is Beijing Institute
Yes.
of Technology. For that school, they
Yes.
have some of their engineering programs are taught in
Packages.
English,
Yes.
and they have university scholarship, and you can even apply under the Type B. But when you even
Oh.
come to my school, that is John Ann University of Economics and Law, just this
Yes.
year, they want to start a pilot base. They are rolling some of the programs. So they are starting with business administration that is taught in
Yes.
English and has full scholarship if you win it. And so
Wow.
by far, this should be the two schools that, to the best of my knowledge, I know that
Yes.
for these two universities, at least if you want to apply for business administration, when you apply to my school, you should be able to get a full scholarship if you are selected. If you go to Virginia Institute of Technology, English program,
Yes.
you should. But other than that, the rest of the schools, the best that you can get should be the tuition waivers. So maybe 400% and they are like 100%, or maybe they'll tell you class A, class B, class C, and maybe class A
Yes.
should be full, class B should be maybe 70%, class C should be like 50%. But that
Yes.
will even mean that the other bills you are going to pay, like your accommodation and then feeding yourself, you are
Ye-
going to pay. So when it
Yes.
comes to bachelors,
Wow.
I really take my time to explain to them because
Yes.
almost everybody wants to go out and then study, especially bachelors. So if they don't get it right, then the
Yes.
agents now come in and, oh, don't worry, I have full scholarship program for you. But for bachelors,
Exactly.
I'm saying it here on your platform that it is very, very difficult unless the
Yes.
type that I talked about or like the few universities that I know. Better
Yes.
still, you can get the full university scholarships or the full tuition waiver or partial, depends on the school or the offer
Oh,
that they have. Yeah. So basically, for bachelors, this should be the kind of scholarships that they can enroll on. That is for
wow.
yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you very much for explaining
Yeah,
everything in detail. In
yeah. Thank
fact,
you.
um, I'm so happy you have explained this way because I have a lot of students who are already in
Yeah.
China and they
Mm.
are really suffering. They are going through several challenges
Very true.
because most agents tell them, oh, there's full scholarship.
Exactly.
Come here, we'll get you full scholarship, and they will come here, you can even work. in China as a student.
Yeah.
That's what most agencies tell them. And now they are here. Some families will sponsor them everything. They will come here and
Yeah.
there's nothing. There's nothing. So thank you very much for explaining that. And to let everybody know, for bachelor programs, apart from what Dr. Aboagye has mentioned, if any agency tells you of any full scholarship,
Mm.
you have to be very careful and research very well.
Very well.
And another aspect that you mentioned that I'm very happy is sometimes they will say full scholarship, which is full tuition, that's all.
Exactly.
And the insurance fee you pay,
Yeah.
other fees, accommodation you pay is more than the amount you even use to study in your country.
Yeah.
This is what most people don't get it. You have to consider all these things. Sometimes it can be full tuition, but even with the accommodation and other stuffs you have to pay is so much.
Yeah.
It's so much. For example, if you have to pay accommodation and insurance and all those are about 5,000 a year. That is about, if you're in Ghana, thousand, almost 10,000 Ghana
Exactly.
cedis.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, almost 10,000 Ghana cedis. So for bachelor students, please kindly note, if you have not watched or listened to what Dr. Aboagye explained about bachelor degree programs, kindly go and listen again and watch again. Don't be trapped. I always feel sorry. Like many students, bachelor students, every time they are facing challenges because agencies didn't tell them the reality of how the bachelor degree programs are, the scholarship packages are. This is very, very important to me. And another one is MBBS. Most of
Yeah.
them that I'm talking about are MBBS students.
Exactly. I forgot to even mention it.
Yes, MBBS students. Most agency, oh MBBS, full
Full
scholarship,
scholarship.
everything, and they will come and they will tell them you can work in China. To be
Uh,
frank with you, you cannot work in China as a student. If
exactly.
you are caught, you'll be deported. I had several friends who went back home because of this deportation. So let me cut things short and we'll continue from that. I really
Yeah.
appreciate the details.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next is maybe talk later about the MBBS.
Yeah, for the MBBS, yeah, I think now in Ghana it's that trend that everybody wants to study MBBS, yeah, in China.
Yes,
But the truth of the matter is that for them
yes,
also their fees are not very easy. I always tell people that imagine Chinese government wanting to pay for people who want to study like to become doctors. Look at the number of people and then
yes,
the cost involved in the education. So
yes,
scholarships are not assured. The best you
yes,
can get is a waiver for them also. The best you can get is a waiver. But then now the
yes,
trend is that people are coming to China with the aim that you've even mentioned it.
yes,
The agencies are saying that you get scholarship for it, but they will come and the story is different. So if you want to
yes,
study MBBS in China, one, I should advise that you should have a very regular source of support or income from home, because them
yes,
and now the challenge then again is the fluctuations in our currency is even making things
exactly,
worse. Before in
exactly.
2018, 2019, you could study MBBS in China and have it very at a very affordable
Yeah,
rate. And so
that's
people were
very
coming.
true.
Now, the little amount of money you change from Ghana to renminbi, like because if you are
The-
changing 100 cities to renminbi, you are going to get less of the renminbi here. And so
yeah,
it is a big disaster for people who want to study MBBS. Imagine your fees is more than 20,000 or 30,000 yuan, which is very true, about 36,000 renminbi
yeah,
a year.
yeah,
And this amount, you want to change Ghana cedi to remember, you're going to pay almost like 50,000 Ghana cedis. And so if you don't have, that is only
yeah,
for teaching. If you don't have a
yeah.
regular source of income, then I'm sorry, it's
It
going to
will
be
be
difficult.
very
And for
hard.
you also, you cannot work. You cannot work as a student
Yeah,
on the student visa. You cannot work, and so it becomes very difficult for them. So if you are listening to us and you want to come here as an MBBS student, please just take time and then make your inquiries well. We are here to help you. So
yes,
you just come, ask us the question, and then we'll tell you so that you can even be using an agent. I don't mind. You can be using an agent and still seeking
yes,
advice or clarification somewhere. Yesterday, one Nigerian contacted me and it's like, I've paid just this on this same issue. I've paid so and
Yes.
so amount to an agent too, but the agent is not responding yet. He says that I should wait. So I was just giving the person advice that yes, the agent will never tell you the school that you are going to. They will never
Yes.
tell you, so that you could go and make a research. So just let them understand that scholarship assured. Even when they tell you that this is your offer letter, try to find out very well.
Confirm
If you find out-
yourself.
Yeah, if you find out that, oh, this is the name of the school, you can ask some of us, because there have been times that people have contacted us. We've tried to help them look for somebody in that school, and then we've
Yes.
communicated and know that okay, it is a good offer. Come, okay, please, so that when you are coming, you are rest assured and know that
Rest
at least
assured.
this is the situation I'm going to face. I'm ready for it. This is the
Yes.
situation I'm not ready. Then you can balance things. So for MBBS, this is the little that I want to tell them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. In fact, the reason why we are doing this is not to maybe destroy the business of
Yeah, yeah,
agents.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that. In fact, agencies deserve what they do
Exactly,
because yeah, it's a
exactly.
whole lot of work. It's a
It's
whole
work.
lot of
It's
work.
work.
But we just want to avoid those agencies who are not being real to you people, who are always not telling you the reality. We want to avoid the many challenges students face when they come here
Yeah.
in terms of this application stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for explaining that in detail about the MBBS as well. So now postgraduate, postgraduate programs.
Yeah, that's the real deal now. Yeah, I think studying postgraduate here in China is it's good. It's fun. It is good, and then the funding is there. Unlike bachelors where there is this struggle. So
Yes,
that one also we have the mainstream Chinese government scholarship, and then we have
yes,
the university scholarships. Let's talk about Chinese governments first. Now
yes,
it's only sad that just in recent time, Chinese
yes,
government has reduced the quota for applying. You know, before I followed applying to China from 2016, and so
yes,
2016 to 2018, 2016 to 2018, you could apply to as many schools as you want. And so I know
yes,
friends who could apply to like 30 universities, 50, like it depends on you. Once you can afford, maybe if
yes,
they don't, if they take application, if you once you can afford, nobody has
yes,
a problem with you. But from 2019 to 2021, it's changed,
yes,
and then now they reduced the quota to apply to 3 universities. So from 2018 to 2019, you could only apply to 3 universities under Chinese government
yes,
scholarship. And the
yes,
sad thing is that from 2021 to current, they've reduced the quota to one. And
one,
so, if you want to apply for Chinese government scholarship, under this is type B that I'm talking about. If you want to apply
yeah,
for Chinese government scholarship under type B, then you are going to apply to only one
only
university.
one school.
But
Wow.
you can also apply to 2 universities under type A, making three. Now, that is the new format. So, if you want to apply,
Okay.
you can choose 2 universities under type A, and the type A always goes through your home country's scholarship
Yes,
secretariat. But the type B, I always encourage people to even try the type B, because I know this one. I'm talking on your platform, but I know that uh, it comes with a whole lot of who you know, and yeah, a lot of connections.
exactly,
If you are not very
exactly.
strong with the type A, you might end up not getting it. So I encourage people
Yeah,
that they should consider type B. So the type B, when you want to apply for the type B, then it means that you are going
yeah.
to consider one university, and now that is the big challenge. But
Yeah, before you even
yeah,
continue, sorry for
okay, yeah,
interrupting.
let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So as you can see from the trend, before people could apply as many schools,
Many, yeah,
and
exactly.
now they change it to only three schools,
And
and
now,
now it's one. So from this trend, you can see that the reason why the policies and the opportunities were very good is because most people didn't like China. And now you
yeah,
can see that that's from my own
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
or
I
something.
share the same thoughts with you.
Yeah. And now you can see it's only one university. Mean like now people have seen the advantages and the opportunities in China. And now they don't have to advertise or ask people to come. People
No.
are rushing to come. So this is the early time for you to even think of, if you are thinking of coming to China, to come. I'm very sure and very confident that a time will come, there will not be opportunities like this.
It's going to be like the US, Canada. It's going to be very tight and straighter. I'm sure.
Exactly. So those watching us or those who are yet to watch us, take this opportunity now before it becomes late. Yeah, so you can continue from there.
Okay, so let's continue. So from the
Yeah,
postgraduate, yeah, let me even come. So postgraduate,
yeah,
in China, when you talk about postgraduate, then they are specifically talking about masters. So now,
yes,
for the purpose of this video, you are saying postgraduate for masters and PhD. But Chinese, when you
okay,
say postgraduate, they are referring to masters. So
yes,
under postgraduate, under Chinese government scholarship type B, then it means you're going to apply to only one university. If you are applying for masters, then it should
yes,
be so. This time, you don't even have to rush through the application. You have to really take time. Know that one school that you are very certain about, like that
yes,
when I applied to this school. And so you want to fulfill the requirements of that university, whatever requirements that they have, you want to fulfill the requirement, because if you don't meet
yes,
those requirements now, the students are so many applications are coming in. So if you don't
yes,
fulfill the requirements, now they are not going to really accept you. No, not even in the first stage, the preliminary checks, they might even bounce your application. And another trend that is happening now in China is that now a lot of
yes.
universities are also taking application fees, unlike before. I could count as many
Oh,
universities that could not take application that did not take application fee, but now a lot of
yes,
them are taking application. Just very few of them are not taking application fee. So you don't want to pay money and then let it go waste like that. You want to really be certain. There are some universities that their first requirement will be like you have to get a supervisor or a professor from our university before you go ahead. And I know
yes,
people who think that it's just a joke. And so people will be like, oh, let me just apply and then let me no, they would I don't have a professor. Yes.
yes,
If you don't have a professor, you don't have a professor. They would bounce your application. It doesn't
yes,
matter whether you paid your 500 MB, 600, they would bounce your application. So you want to be certain. And that one, I don't know whether we will talk about it later, but it is
yes,
that is the most difficult part of the entire, aside putting your documents together, that is the
yes,
most difficult part of your entire your application. That is to get a professor. I tell you, it is the
yes,
difficult and tedious because now you have to go to the university's portal. I think
yes.
maybe you might explore that in the.
You can
I can
you
I talk
can
about it?
continue. Yeah, you can talk about it right now.
Okay, so you have to first of all go to the port, like you want to study MBA. Now I think now there are a lot of important tools. Before I like before I was using Google. Before I was using
Yes,
Google, like you just go online, you search. But now there are two powerful tools that I use. That
yes.
that is now I use ChatGPT, and then I use
Okay.
another link called Perplexity.
Oh,
I think I'll have to share the Perplexity link under your video,
okay.
like as a comment. So
Okay,
you
sure.
can, but even with if you have ChatGPT, then I think you are
Yes,
even good to go, because
yes,
ChatGPT, the moment you ask ChatGPT, suggest universities in China that study maybe accounting, trust you me,
yes.
it will
It will
suggest
give
as
you.
much as yes, and then it will tell you
Yes.
that, oh, maybe I even add that, please tell me the ones that take application fee, the ones that do not take application fee. And then
Wow.
you realize
Yes.
that the searches, because before I had to go on Google, search them one by one, but now at a click, I'm able to see like about 5 universities, 10 universities, 15 universities at a go. What the
Yes.
only thing I have to do is that once I know the name of the university, now I go to Google straight away. I search for the name of the university and then I go to their website. And now when you go
Yes.
to any of their websites, there are two things that you are going to see. Before, even now, I think the universities have improved a lot. Before, you go to
Yes.
the website and it's all in Chinese, but now they
Yes.
almost all the universities have the English version. So when you go, you have to check the top right corner usually. Then you see an
Yes.
English sign there. You just click it, translate the page to English. What you have to just do is to go to the admissions. You realize that they have admissions or international student admissions. You just go to admissions, and then
Yes.
the courses that are taught in English will be displayed. The courses that are taught in Chinese will be displayed. If you want to study in English, please go for English taught programs. If you want to
Share.
study Chinese, go for Chinese taught programs. But just then again, you mentioned that you wish you
Yes.
studied in Chinese. For me, I also wish I studied and could speak fluently in Chinese, but that is not the
Yes.
situation, because a lot of opportunities want to avail itself to me. But the situation
Yes.
is that I can't speak Chinese
Chinese.
like
Yeah.
as I should. And so like these days, these doors are not opening. And so if you
Yes.
are coming, make Chinese studies or Chinese language learning a priority. And so you just
Yes.
go to the portals. and then you check admissions, and the admissions you realize that they have scholarships. You just go to
Yeah.
scholarship and you realize that okay, this school has Chinese government scholarship, because Chinese schools under Chinese government scholarship, there are about 279, so a lot of them. So it's likely that the
Yeah.
school you are looking for will be under Chinese government scholarship, but you want to explore and see whether they have other types of scholarship. So what I
Okay, so before you even continue,
yeah,
yeah. So those who are just joining or yet to watch, you can
mm,
check his channel, ABJ Vlogs TV on YouTube channel. Even you can reach him on Facebook, and
yeah,
he has made several videos explaining in details of all these processes. So go and check his channel out, subscribe, and if you have any question, you can reach him anytime, and he will be ready to help you out. In fact, he has been doing so much on his platform to help you. You are the reason why he's making those videos, to help you apply for these scholarships for free without using an agent, without being trapped in an agent, then coming to China and facing several challenges. So you can check that channel out, ABJ Vlogs TV. Yeah, now we can continue.
okay. So when you go to their website,
Yeah,
now if you realize that they have other scholars, now this is what I advise people to do. Now,
yes,
because Chinese government is a slot, you look for that one school that you can apply. Then you look for other
yes,
universities, maybe two or three, that can serve as backup.
yes,
When I was coming, I was fortunate to have applied to three universities under Chinese government scholarship, and applied to
yeah.
like five universities under university scholarships.
USC scholarship.
So that was before masters. I think I had about five acceptance, like admissions. So now I had
Yeah,
to choose and then go to the one that. And even for PhD, I did a similar one. Like I applied to, even for PhD, still I had opportunity to apply to three. But now, if you want to
yeah,
apply, because it's one against university scholarship, what you have to do
yes,
is that once you locate that university, that oh, this is the university I want to apply to. So, for instance, if you apply to my university, John University of Economics and Law, if you apply to my university, then you look for other universities that have similar programs but have
yeah,
university scholarship options. So you can add like two or three to it, so that if in case maybe the Chinese government scholarship does not go in your favor, then you have
yeah,
other plans to fall on. And so that is basically the advice that I give to people. But always the
yes,
thing is that there are variations in the scholarship. Chinese government scholarship, if you're a master student, you're going to get
yes,
like 3,000 RMB. And then
yes,
if you're a PhD student, you're going to get 3,500 RMB. But all this, it's a full tuition, full insurance package, full accommodation. Yes, and
yes.
yeah, basically these are the main component. And
Oh, so that 3,000, 3,500 is what?
for your monthly allowance, your monthly
Okay.
allowance, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
So
they give
monthly
you
allowance.
yeah, monthly allowance, masters 3,000, PhD 3,500, and your accommodation, and then your accommodation, and then your medical insurance are also catered for, and your tuition is already paid. So the whole package is very huge.
Everything.
Everything
Yeah,
is paid for. And when it comes
yeah,
to the university scholarships, we have the full university scholarships, and then we have the partial university scholarship. This is subjected to the university. And so
yes,
university in my let me use my university for instance. My
yes,
university like this, we have full university scholarship, and then we have the partial university scholarship. For the full university scholarship, you are going to get also tuition, accommodation, medical insurance, and then
okay.
a monthly stipend of 2,500. But just recently, they have changed it from 2,500 to 1,500, because just as you want to take a like that, a lot of people are coming in, and so it has been
Yes,
reduced to 1,500. So if you're a master's or you're a PhD student, you win a full scholarship in a university scholarship. This is the package. Unlike
yes,
somebody who's going to win Chinese, that's why the Chinese government scholarship is the priority. But if you
yes.
get a partial in my school, it is there are two kinds of partial. We have the partial that comes with tuition and accommodation,
Okay.
tuition, accommodation, medical insurance. So they will pay all these three, and then you are not going to pay for. They are not going to give you monthly allowance. So tuition, medical, accommodation, and then
Yes,
you have the other one that is tuition and accommodation. Then you pay for your you feed yourself, and then you pay for your medical insurance. So this is
yes,
for my school, but a lot of universities I know there are several. I can mention a university like Central South University in Changshan.
Yes,
For Central
Tanshun.
South, yeah, Central South, their university scholarship is just like the CSE. Their university scholarship is just like, so if you are
Yeah, even my sorry for interrupting.
oh
My
yeah,
university, I'm in Sucho University in
oh yes,
Sujo.
yeah,
Yeah, we also have the same package. I'm under university scholarship.
yes,
It is
good.
the same as the
Yeah,
CAC
yeah. It's
scholarship.
just
Yeah,
yeah. We have some very few universities in China that have similar packages like the Chinese government scholarship, and then I
yeah,
think we have other universities like just like I mentioned my university. We have like
yeah,
the Zhejiang Gongshan and then some few other universities who also have like full university packages. And so you want
yeah,
to explore all these opportunities and then so main one you apply to the main one because once you have the document you apply to the main Chinese government and look for these as backups. But just allow me to talk about quickly mention the third Chinese government scholarship that people
sure.
do not really know. That is the MOFCOM. They have one scholarship called the
Oh, yeah,
MOFCOM, and by far that is the
yes,
no, they have two more. Let me talk about the MOFCOM and talk about the answer scholarship. The MOFCOM,
yeah.
I think that should be the high rank scholarship.
The highest, yeah.
Yes, because even that one, you're going to get how do you call it?
Traveling allowance
Yeah,
or
travel
something.
allowance. Like your ticket is bought for you in and out of China when you're coming, and so it is by far one of the best scholarships you can win. But that one also you have to apply through your country to China. So
Yes.
if you are not strong, I hardly see a lot of people from my country Ghana come with maybe they are here, but I don't know them. But
Exactly. With the MOFCON, I just met one guy recently. He's from Ghana and he's having that scholarship. And trust me,
mm,
that was my first time to hear about that scholarship. I didn't even believe that. I was thinking he's joking. Then I researched more and I was like, what?
yeah,
There's even a
yeah, the
package like
MOFCOM.
that?
Yeah, the
MOFCON
MOFCOM.
scholarship.
But usually
Wow.
the truth is that uh, you should really know somebody. That should be their next treat. And then they have the
Exactly.
Anson scholarship. The Anson
Yes.
scholarship it applies to two universities here in China. We have
Yes.
the University of Science and Technology China, that is USTC, and then we have the
Yeah.
University of Academic Sciences. For these two UCAS
Yeah.
and then USTC, these two universities have the Anson scholarship, and the Anson
Mm.
scholarship it's also very, very, very good.
It
It
is.
pays more than the
Mm.
Chinese government scholarship. I think their stipend should be like 4,500. They give them a higher amount, and then from that amount, you're able to pay your rent. So obviously, you're going to get more than if you're a PhD student, you're going to get more than a regular Chinese government scholarship student. And then
Yes.
the same thing for their master. So that is another scholarship but that scholarship is for only two universities. That's the USTC and then the UCAS. These are the only two universities. And then there is one scholarship that is not a mainstream scholarship, but it is very, very good. There is this university,
Yes.
Xi'an Jiaotong University. They also
Oh,
have
yeah.
a Belt and Road scholarship, a Belt and Road scholarship, which is very, very good. It also works like the Anson scholarship, but
Yeah.
you have to apply to courses within their scope before you can. But if you are watching us, you can just check them out. Or if you comment and we see the comment, we just put some of these schools there for you. Xian Jiaotong for that school, they also have this Belt and Road, and then it is very, very good. So by far, this for postgraduate, you see that postgraduates have a lot of opportunity to pick from. Unlike
Yes.
bachelors it
Yes.
is just few. But and all these programs that we are talking, majority of them you can study them in English. Majority of
Wow.
them you can study them in English. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Wow. In fact, thank you very much. In fact, you
yeah,
have really explained everything in detail. Everything in detail. In fact. So guys, don't forget to follow his channel if you want more of these contents.
yeah.
Yeah. He will explain everything much in detail for you to understand. And I personally, there are some things I didn't even know. I learned from his channel. So you should go and
Thank
check
you so
them
much.
out. Yeah. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
explaining everything in detail. And how about PhD? PhD.
Yeah, for PhD, for PhD, it works like the masters, yeah, because they go hand in hand. And so when you want to apply for PhD, just that you have to be a little tactical with the document.
Yeah.
Let me even take the opportunity to mention the document so that we can use that to distinguish the
Yes.
PhD from them.
Yes.
So basically, you need your passports, and it should be at least minimum of 6 months validity. But a lot of schools prefer that you get 1 year validity, and then
Yes.
you should get your if you are in China, then
Yeah.
you would also be required to present your current visa, like the visa that you are on if you are in China. If not,
Yeah.
the next document that you need is your transcript. Your transcript. And so
Yeah.
the transcript. So if you are applying for masters, then you are using the transcript of your undergraduate. If you're applying for PhD, then the transcript of your master's. So you have
Yeah.
to get your transcript. Then you have to get your certificate. You have to get your certificate ready.
Yes.
So your graduation certificate. And for the certificate, if maybe you are watching us and then you'll be graduating maybe this year, you have not yet
Yeah.
graduated, you still qualify to apply. The only thing that you can replace with your certificate is that you need to contact your school administration to give you a letter that shows that you have met all the requirements and you'll be graduating very soon. Maybe you'll be
Yes.
graduating in June. So when they give you that letter, instead of your certificate, you can replace that and then apply even before you graduate. And then the
Yes.
next thing, you'll be needing your study plan. And so this is where I said, let me use this to distinguish the PhD from the master's. Now,
Okay.
it is the same, just that for masters, I said 3,000 and the Chinese government scholarship, and then for
Yes.
PhD, 3,500. But when you're applying for masters, usually when you have your study plan alone, it is fine, or your motivational letter, or your personal
Yes.
statement, it is fine. But for PhD, you have to go much detailed, or yeah.
Yes.
So if it is possible, aside your statement of purpose or study plan or what have you, you have to
Yeah.
write a research proposal. You have to write
Okay.
a research proposal. That is, if the school is not requiring a professor, if the school is not requiring a professor, then what you can do is that you can write an open research proposal or give them an idea of what you want to like when you come. And so
You
that
have
one,
in mind. Yeah.
yes. So that one, when you are writing, I usually advise people that if you don't have a professor, they are not requiring for a professor, just give them
Yes.
an open idea of what you'll be doing in your stay, like study in China, and then add
Yeah.
it to your study plan. But if you already have a professor who has given you an acceptance letter, obviously the professor will mention the area that he's interested in. So you use that
Yes.
area to write a complete research proposal and then add
Wow.
it. Yeah, this is so that should is that is the major difference if you're applying for the masters and
PhD.
the PhD. So once you have your study plan or your study plan and then your research proposal, then you should also
Yes.
get your medical form. Chinese people are very much particular about this. Your medical form, you don't have to let it go by, like you have to add a good medical form. And the medical form, there is a form that you have to download. You can even go
Yeah.
online and type download Chinese international like foreign medical form or for students or something. You just add it. It will
Yes.
give you the PDF you download. The only mistake that people do is that where we put our picture on the medical form, the doctor is supposed to put your picture. You always have to let
Yes.
the doctor put a stamp on it for you.
Stamp. Yeah.
Yes, because that is by far the little mistake that I see people do with the medical form. And the next one, you should get your police, what do you call, yeah, the police non-criminal record. And if,
Yes.
if you are from Ghana, like he mentioned, then you should be going to the headquarters. And like
Yes.
yeah, that is
Police clearance.
yeah, that is at cantonment. If you are not from
Yeah.
Ghana, I think you should also be contacting your like asking from your country. Yes, recently somebody from South Africa asked me. I mentioned this
Yes.
within a few days. I said, hey, not in my country, Ghana. For in some few days, the person got it. And so you have to get that one, and also two major documents: your
Yes.
recommendation letters. This is another challenge.
Yes.
I think this is by far one of the ways that people delay a lot. You have to
It's true.
get two recommendation letters that are signed by an associate professor or a professor. That is, if you're applying for masters or PhD. But if you're
Yeah.
applying for bachelors, it doesn't really count.
Require
Even
that.
some of the
Yeah.
schools does not even ask for recommendation. They'll just ask you for a testimonial. So for
Yes.
PhD and masters, it should be signed by an associate professor or a professor. And then the next thing, the next thing that you should also add is your letter of English proficiency. Because if you are
Okay.
going to study in English, you are supposed to add that. If you are going to study in Chinese, then you are going to add HSK4. That is, if you're applying for a university scholarship, they will
Yes.
require that you add HSK for. But if you're applying for uh, PhD or masters under Chinese government scholarship taught in
Yes.
Chinese, then it means that the Chinese government is going to cater for your 1 year study in Chinese. And after you come and pass HSK
Yes.
for, you enroll. So that one you will not be required to provide an HSK certificate. And now I've seen a new trend that a lot of the schools are asking that you take a video of yourself or you record yourself, maybe not more than 2 minutes, between 1 minute and 2 minutes. You should record yourself.
Yes.
It is very simple. I tell people that just try to replicate your study plan, because the things that you provided in your study plan should be very directly relational to the video, because you can't tell me that you are motivated to study this and then in your video you say different things. So just know your study plan and then use it to just take a video of yourself. And if you have a good like, if there is a place for supplementary documents, if you have
Yes.
a CV, a good CV, put it there. If you have some published papers, let them know. These are advantages for you. And one thing that
Yeah.
I've realized is that let your CV be very, very good, because now you are applying or competing with a lot of students, especially people from Pakistan. Yes, I don't know if some
Yes.
of them will watch our video, but for Pakistan, they put up a very good CV. And so if you don't put up a very good CV, a lot of the professors would pick them over you, and that should be simple. So if you have all these
Wow.
documents, yeah, this is just the slight difference between applying for PhD and master. The difference
Masters.
comes only in the study plan and then the research proposal bit. Other than that, almost all the things are the same. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Thank you very much for explaining that in detail. I'd like to add up about the CV study
Mm,
plan about the
mm,
Pakistan students. In
yeah.
fact, when I was applying for my master's, I made a CV myself, and one Pakistan guy saw it. He was like, "What? What kind of CV is this?" And he helped me
Oh,
make the CV.
yeah, we
After
all met
him making the
Pakistan.
CV, after him making the CV, I myself, I was like, "What?" I myself, I could feel the difference.
Yeah, yeah,
And trust me, their
yeah,
study plan, how they
yeah,
write their study plan. In
yeah,
fact,
yeah, yeah,
like, wow.
yeah,
So, in fact, you really have to invest in these things,
yeah.
your CV, your study
It's a
plan, and
Pakistani who
everything.
actually motivated me to change my CV. After seeing his, I'm
Wow.
like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So, that one is very, very important. And I'm very happy you have explained everything in detail. This is all you need if you want to apply for scholarship yourself. Everything you need is what Dr. Aboagye has explained, and I really, really appreciate that. So, I think even besides the scholarship, one challenge most people are really facing. Before we even go there, I don't know if you still have anything about the application process to add up. Then,
Maybe in the course of our conversation, I'll come back to that.
oh, okay. So one of the biggest challenges people still doubting, like the lifestyle in China. People still like they don't see China as that modern. They still think it's that movies we see,
Mm,
those
mm.
Jachan movies and stuff. So the biggest challenge is most people do not really patronize coming to China. I'm even number one. I never wanted to be. China was just a plan B. It was just an
Yes.
option. So in terms of lifestyle in China and living in China, what can you really tell us about China? Their
Uh,
lifestyle
this,
and everything.
this question is very interesting. Aside the academic stuff that we've talked about, living in
Yes.
China it's how do I it's a mixed feeling, but it's very interesting. It's a new experience altogether. Like, you
Yes.
are coming from a country where you move about simple, but coming here is like a total experience together. And
Yes.
the moment you step foot in China, like you get out of the flight, like,
Yes.
and if nobody is coming to meet you, maybe you
Yes.
might not like China. If you get out of the flight and then nobody is coming to meet you at the airport, maybe you don't like China. Why? Because even at the airport is a bit okay, because there are signages that are in English, so you can turn right, go here at least. But
Yes.
if you come out of the airport and then the reality dawns on you that I have to find my way to the university, maybe you not like China, because everybody is speaking in Chinese, like, and you cannot
Yes.
understand. And by then because you are new and then you have not set your phone to like a VPN or something, like you cannot translate, you cannot do anything. And so it is a very big
Yes.
challenge. So the first 1 week of your life in China, you might really say that I don't like China. I have people that
Yes.
I've helped, they came to China and they're like, so BJ, you know all these things and you never told. And I'm like, you just wait, relax. You are just 1 week old in China.
After 1 month.
Yes. And now these same people are so happy in China that when they tell them they don't want to go. It
Yeah.
is, yeah, the fact is that one, people are going to treat you differently. Of
Yes.
course, because one, if you're, especially if you are black like us, like people see you and
Yes.
then they probably they've not seen a black person before. So the staring and everything is so real. People are going to look at
Yes.
you all the time. That is one. And then the major thing I even want to talk about is the food. Like
Yes.
you'll be like, "Hey, am I going to eat this food? Am I go, And the moment you even mingle with your teachers and everything, they want to
Yes.
invite you to dinners and all of that. And
Yes. Yes.
am I going to eat this food? Am I going to eat that food? But trust you me, like the moment you adjust, there is a lot of Chinese food that when I came to China, like I even told myself I will never try this food again. But now these food are my favorites. Like now
Yeah. Exactly.
it's been like about 3 4 days now that I've not taken food from my fridge. I just go to the canteen to buy Chinese food.
Canteen
Okay,
dish food.
I put
Wow.
I cooked my food, but I had to put it down and go to the canteen to buy. I just don't know why. But like
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, you're going to eat a lot of Chinese food, and you'll be very familiar with it. Is a new experience, but you give yourself just 1 month, and then you be
Yes.
okay with everything that surrounds you in China. The experience is, for me, it is very awesome because you are a foreigner. I think it is
Yes.
the same in other countries. Because you're a foreigner, people treat you differently.
Yes.
They want to know more about you. They want to ask you questions. And if you can even speak Chinese, then a lot of them will come to you because they want
Yes.
to know a lot of things about your country. And I use it as an opportunity to also clear the misconceptions that they have about our country or about
Yes.
Africa and stuff. So the little that I can talk to, and especially the student who can even speak English, you are able
Yes.
to tell them that no, this is my country, this is how my country looks like. And now they have to have new perception about even foreign people. And so
Yes.
for living in China, the first 1 month to me it is very challenging. But aside that one, I think everything becomes normal. And life
Yes.
here it moves at a faster rate. It's very progressional because always there are developmental things going on. The moment you pass
Yes.
here, they are doing this, tomorrow they are doing that. And aside that one, the technology is so great, especially if you
Yes.
have your phone. I don't remember the last time I held physical cash. Like I get my WeChat and I'm going
Yeah.
I'm going out and I have my phone. I know I have everything with me because with my phone I just take my bus. I take like
And do
everything.
everything.
So it makes life very easier, very faster, and the fact that you can only use WeChat to do a lot of things. You can
Yeah.
just the other challenge is that maybe you want to be regular on Facebook and then Instagram
That's
and all of that. Maybe
Instagram.
VPN
Yes.
challenges. These are the challenges. But aside that one, I feel that life here is better. Now we have a lot of foreign students, a lot of yeah. From even in my university now, we have like about 18 Ghanaians. In my university, I have
Wow.
like about 18. My next door neighbor is a Ghanaian. When I go to the third floor, it's a Ghanaian. When I go to fifth floor, everywhere I pass, and not even Ghanaians, a lot of African. So sometimes that idea that I'm not even I'm like we meet, we speak our language, so you
Yes.
feel at home.
Food,
Yes.
everything. Yes.
Yes. So it's not like before where you feel alone and all of that. Of course, we have some people who in their school they have very few people around them, like from their country. But if you have
Yes.
few people around you, there is a positive in that. That is that you should be able to learn the Chinese very well. But because for me, I have a lot of Ghanaians here, and then I'm not able to learn very well because where we meet, we speak
Because
our
yeah.
and we are going. Yes. So,
Yeah.
but staying here the reception to me, my school, especially people in my school, the reception is very heartwarming and then it is very interesting. So when you are coming, don't think about the lifestyle. You will quickly adjust. You will quickly adjust. And
Yes.
those people who are even afraid the more, they are the people who, when they
You'll
come,
be enjoying more.
exactly, they don't want to even go back. So that is
Wow.
why
Wow. Wow.
I stay here.
Yeah, wow. Thank you very much for
Thank
mentioning
you,
those
bro.
things. The first one I would like to add up about the language. So that is why we have ABJ Vlogs TV there. He is there to help you out. If you have applied to China, you are yet to come to China, make sure you get in contact with someone already in China
Exactly.
before you even leave, before you even book your ticket or anything. You tell the person in advance, the person will search the university you are coming to and everything for you, so that if you come, you will not be facing this kind of challenges. So follow his channel, and anything you need about application, coming to China and everything, he will help you out so that you don't go through that. I personally, I remember when I arrived in China, I came in 2018. When I arrived at the airport, I was like, nobody could speak any language. Like, I was like, what? And these people were smoking. I was really scared. Back in Ghana, if you see somebody
Yeah.
smoking, I was really scared. I was like, what? So it's really, really very challenging. It's really, really very challenging if your school doesn't come to meet you at the airport and all those
Very
things. So
challenging. Very
yeah,
challenging.
so try to reach someone in China, and that is why we have ABJ Vlogs TV there for you. Follow him, and if you need anything, he is there to assist you, make everything so easy for you to come. Yeah, and the development and everything. In fact, like I really never expected that, because the airport, when I just arrived in Guangzhou airport, trust me, I was like,
What?
going to the next terminal alone I was like,
Hey.
what? And that time Ghana has constructed their new terminal, and I was like,
T3.
wow, this government have done very well.
But now you go to
I came here, I came here, and that our terminal is just like a room, just
yeah.
just so the development alone in China is so crazy, like that
Yeah.
your mindset and everything, like you will see how the other part of the world is, especially
Mm,
even China.
mm,
And me comparing 2018 to 2024, the changes in China is so great. Like, it's so fast. The development, China has really changed just from 2018 to 2024. So much. So the development and everything is so fast. And I strongly believe if we have been able to live here for several years, why can't you? You can do it. So it's possible for everyone to also live here. And I'm happy you mentioned the challenges you faced. Yeah,
mm.
the challenges they can face. That's so good. Okay. In terms of the application, what are some of the challenges people who are willing to apply themselves will face when they are applying themselves? What are the challenges you think they will face,
Yeah.
and how they can handle that?
All right. I think you've asked a very important question. So it's not all about wanting to apply. There are equally challenges that comes with it. Yes.
Yes.
So I think I should say that when we are applying for scholarships, okay, in as
Yes.
much as we want to be optimistic and all of that, we should also be thinking like so always you have to be getting plan B's and all of that. So I'll come to the challenge, but I want to make a statement that when you see that somebody has applied to a school to study abroad, uh, and you ask the person said he did it him or herself, you should try to find out what the person really went through because it's
Yes.
not easy. Yes. And so the
Exactly.
first thing that I even want to tell all of the people watching us is that you should be ready for rejections. You should be like rejections are part of the
Ready.
application process.
Process.
Rejections are part of the application process, and so you should be ready to accommodate that. You might have your plans that this year I want to really leave Ghana, but you should be
Yes.
ready for the unfortunate. And
Yes.
I say that you know even before time, I'm a Christian, so let me go that tangent. Even ahead
Yes.
of time, God had already prepared and destined everyone. So
Yes.
somebody would apply just within the same year, just at the latter of the year, like maybe
Yes.
2 or 3 days to application closes, and the person would even win a good scholarship than you might have even gotten. And
Yes.
that year probably you might not get. I followed the thing from 2016, 2017. I applied to
Yes.
several universities, paid application fees, and then I didn't no I got admission, but I got partial scholarship. So I didn't like them, so I didn't come. So these
Yeah.
are the challenges I want you to know. 2016,
Wow.
2017, 2018, I got admissions, not good scholarships. I didn't come. It was in 2019 that I had at least the ones that I'm looking for that I came. And so you realize that I had followed the thing from a time like about 2 years before I got,
Yes, before.
and even in that period where I was not getting what I was getting, at least then I
Yes.
didn't have full knowledge about Chinese government scholarship. But the little I know, I was just
Yes.
sharing with people, and people were becoming successful in the application process. So that's why I'm saying
Wow.
that one, you should be ready for rejection. Your
Yeah.
time will certainly come. That is what I want to pass across. But the
Wow.
biggest
That's so powerful.
challenge, yeah, it's not easy because 2 years consistently, I still couldn't come to China, but
Wow.
I was still pursuing that. No, so every year I would try again, and then I eventually came. But the major thing that you are going to face is that um, if you are applying on your own, then you should be able to contact somebody to guide you,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have any knowledge about it, because there are some basic or minute mistakes that you'll be making that you would never know. The common
Yeah.
example is I shared one. That is, if you don't know that for the picture, you have to put your stamp on. And that was my first mistake that I did. So I had
Wow.
applied the first application, the first time application that I did everything
Yes.
right. But I didn't know that you have supposed to put a
Put
stamp
the
on
stamp
the
on them.
yes. So eventually that year, my application were gotten bounced. It was one school that prompted me that, oh, you need to
Wow.
put a stamp on this. So I realized it, oh,
Mm.
so I had to wait
This is
for
the
another
reason.
year to so you don't want to make that mistake. And the other thing
Yes.
is that sometimes, some of the Chinese websites might have used some translations, like no, they will use some translators to translate their website into English. And so it's
Yes.
changed some of the meanings a bit. And so you want to seek clarity from either the school, you can email them. You want to seek
Yes.
clarity from them, or like you have us here. You can also
Yes.
come and comment on our channels, and then we would explain them to you, because it is very good for you to know and then correct them ahead of time than to just go. And some people take them for granted. Like some people think that it is China. That is one thing that I just don't want to hear about. People think that it is China. So Chinese application, I just have to do anything that I
Do
want.
anything. Yes.
Exactly. That is, I have people who will come and say, I'm so much interested to apply. You tell them, and they feel that, why are you demanding so much documents? Why is China? And these are some of the things that people tell me. Why are you demanding so much? Why it is China?
Yes.
But if you make the applications anyhow, now a lot of people are applying. If you make them anyhow, they're also going to reject your application anyhow.
They also take it anyhow.
You have to spend time and then apply. But for,
Yes.
for, for the challenges, that is what I've told you. Like the translation bit. If you get a
Yes.
school that do not have a good translation, you might not really understand what they want. And so
Yes.
if you think that you don't understand, please email them, ask them, or you can a lot of videos online. Ask us, and they will tell you, okay, this you have to do it this way. And then
Yes.
maybe the other one is, some schools would ask you to pay application fee, and then with application fee, if you want to transfer from Ghana through a bank to China, it's going to one delay, like take several days, and two, you're going
Yes.
to pay those bank charges. And so you want to contact some of us, and that one I would not tell you the kind of like who you should contact, or but the things that I don't want, I don't want people, the mistake that I don't want people to be making is that they don't have
Yes.
to go online and go to random people. If
Exactly.
you trust them, fine. But if you don't trust them, go to people that you are very comfortable with. Please, I want you to help me pay an application. If you let me, I think I even have somebody's receipt here with me. Let me see. I paid
Yes.
one. I paid one recently for a friend. Yeah, I have the receipt here. I just I don't know whether they will see it here, but maybe I
Wow.
just paid. Yeah, just like 2 or 3 days. I paid one for somebody here, and so the person
Yes.
just, oh please, I want you to pay an application fee for me. I just said, okay, give me this amount in Ghana cedi. If the person is not a Ghanaian, I always recommend
Yes.
that. Oh, tell me if you know somebody in China. Tell me. I'll communicate with the person in your country, and the person would try to help you. At least people
Yes.
from Liberia, from Rwanda, at least we've tried our best to help them pay. Because if
Yes.
you can afford and pay through the bank, but by far that would be the biggest challenge. If you don't get the right person, your money is gone. If you get the right
Wow.
person, yeah. But the last thing that I also want to say is that because of
Yes.
the time differences, so if you want to get in touch with somebody also, please exercise a little patience for them,
Yes.
because
Yes.
sometimes I remember what somebody sent me the money to pay the application fee, and I said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll go and pay the
Yeah.
money." But then I was in class, and the person was calling me, and I'm testing the person that I won't run away with your money. If I would, I would not even like, I won't do that. So then after class, I went to pay, and the person was like, "Oh, why?" Yes. So I understand. It is you know when you sacrifice that amount of money, yes, you
Yeah.
that's
It's
why I
not.
don't meet random people. So that should be the biggest challenge. And then the translation bit, where aside that one, once you have a fair knowledge about the things that you have to do, you should be able to do it. But paying application fee and then the translation bit would be the problem. But for translation, now there are very powerful tools.
Choose.
Then
Yeah.
I still recommend that make use of ChatGPT. If you see the channel, you just put it in ChatGPT. Give me the English the translation is quite closer to it than even Google itself. So let's make good use of it, and then we'll be able to get them done.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I would like to add up to the part
Mm.
that you talked about, how people will be calling you and all those things. In fact, it's too much sometimes, And what most people are always doubting, you are online. They see you online.
For China,
It's,
I don't put off my data. My data is
yeah,
always on. Sometimes I'm on
it's,
Facebook and I fall asleep. So people, you
exactly.
are online, you're not responding to me. Yeah.
Ex- So yeah, guys, be a little bit patient when we are
Yeah.
helping out. Yeah. So thank you very much for adding up. Wow. In fact, you have really explained everything from A
Yeah.
to Z. You have not eliminated anything. This is all the details you need if you want to
Yeah.
apply for scholarship to China yourself without using an agent, and all the details about the scholarship. So I think we are done with most of the questions
Yeah.
that I would like us to talk about today about applying for scholarships. But before we even leave, I would like to ask, you have lived in China for several years now.
Mm.
What was your mindset before and after coming to China?
Oh my, for that one, it has changed like a very big change. A very, before I came to China, I thought it's all about eating rice every day. I thought it was
Yeah,
all about eating noodles. I thought it was all about wearing like that kind of dresses. I thought I was coming to see the kind of
Shaman.
typical Chinese buildings all over. But
Yes,
bro, I came here and then the perception is entirely different. You know,
yeah,
I always tell when I go to the country, I tell the women like when I go, I always tell them, do you have me fun? And the Chinese people will be looking at me. Why? I will be telling them they should add more rice or add. They will like how? Because Chinese people don't eat rice like that. I made a video. And
exactly.
then
Yeah,
they eat very little rice. Even when
yes.
you go on a dinner with them, you might cry because they'll eat all the
Very
meat and
little
before they
rice.
bring the rice. The rice comes at the latter. And I'm always angry that once you have done it, you're now bringing the rice. So Chinese people don't eat
Exactly.
rice like that. And so, we have that perception that it is about rice, it's about noodles, it is about wearing traditional Chinese dress. But hey,
Yes.
it is never so. You come here and then
Yeah.
you see that it is all about development, technology. I always say that if our leaders who come to take loans from Chinese government should see the things that they are doing here and then do them in our
Exactly.
countries, it's going to be better. But unfortunately, our leaders are not doing so. But China,
Yeah.
it is far ahead, far, far, far ahead. Development is on another level. They make always the thing
Yes.
that they try to do is that they try to find the easier way out in everything. So today it will be
Yeah.
easy, but tomorrow they want to even make it much easier than
More easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the perception it has changed a lot. But I don't know, but I love China. I love Chinese people so much because I love them so much. Yeah, honestly.
Wow. Yeah, thank you very much for mentioning that. I'm so happy I also have someone who loves China. I have some few people who are also in China who do not like the lifestyle and sometimes some things, and they always ask me, why are you so happy about China and all those things? So the question I always ask them is, If you don't love China or you don't like, why have you still been staying here? Why
We
have
can't
you
we
been
can't go
still
back to
staying
our
here?
country.
Exactly. There are several people who have been discouraged by people who are already in China.
Yeah, yeah.
They are telling them,
Honestly,
and I always tell them,
when I was coming, a
yeah,
friend discouraged me. I had a classmate, a
yes,
schoolmate, year mate for that matter. He
yes,
was in China. I contacted him that, bro, I want
yes,
to come to China. He said, oh, don't come
yes,
to China. No, 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 no. For China, I don't know whether he would watch this video, but he said, don't come to China. But
yes,
I came here, and there was a time that I didn't want to refer him, but I was like, maybe
yes,
God brought me also here for a reason, because I came
yes.
here and in the long run, he came back to ask for a certain help. And I'm like, you see, I'm not supposed to come to China, but I found my way out. And
Imagine,
a lot of people
yes,
have been discouraged because people tell you, oh, China is not good. But please follow your heart. If you want to come to China, come. There are a lot of opportunities for you.
exactly. There are really a lot of opportunities. So that is the question I always ask them. I always ask them, tell the person, ask the person, why is it that China is no good, but you are still there? That is the only question you can ask the person. If the person can really give you tangible reasons, then you can uh, think of not coming to China. So our main reason is not just to promote China, but to really change our continent and our countries. There are
Mm,
so many things I have learned, and I know so many of us who have been in China, we have learned the ideas and so many things that we would like to change. We also like to see our country developing, a lot of things changing just like China.
yeah.
So that is the main reason why we are here. And before we even leave, I would like to ask, how has your life really changed
Oh,
being in
for
China
my life,
for
yeah,
this 5 years?
I came here from bachelor's, and then first of all, I've been able to secure my at least master's degree, and from
Yes,
there, hopefully by the grace of God, in the next 2 or 3 months, I should be able to secure my PhD, which to me is uh, a good achievement in my life. At least, if nothing at
yes,
all, China has changed my life to this extent. And then
yes,
also, I was fortunate to also have come here on a scholarship for my
yes,
master's and for my PhD. And so, in
yes,
terms of that one, also, I think it does not really put burden on me like that. At least at the end of the month, I have a peace of like I have my peace of mind to study and then do my stuff because I'm able to get monthly allowance to go through my study. So
yes,
if nothing at all, if I didn't get anything at all from China, I think this is a great achievement. But notwithstanding, I have met a lot of people here in China, a lot of people
yes,
from different countries that we built networks and from
yes,
different cultural background. I have come to understand a lot of people, and so it's wonderful. Like I've gotten to understand people, and the most interesting part of it all is that although I love to do videos, even from I think I started making YouTube videos from 2014, but I was not
wow.
like I didn't know how to go about it, so I was just doing it like anyhow. But when I
Anyhow,
came to
yes,
China, I realized that because my YouTube took shape when I got to China because I rediscovered my potential. I rediscovered a
yes,
lot of things. So nothing, if nothing at all, China has also helped me to be able to give back to society, help me
yes,
like know that oh, like I can make content for myself because I learned all of these things myself, even through coming to China. And so these things have really helped me, and now it has put me on many platforms, and people have also sought my advice in many ways. So I think China has really helped me, and I know even after school, it's going to really help me more. Yeah. So
yes.
basically,
Wow, 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 wow. I'm so really impressed that you have had so many life changing activities in your life and how far you have come and giving back. I really, really cherish and I appreciate that time and everything you do because when I went through your channel so much, I was like, what? Like, and everything you have explained today is
yeah.
really in detail. I have been in China. I always talk about this application, but trust me, there are some things I've learned several things new from you. So many things that you
Thank you
mentioned
so
that
much.
I never thought about or I even didn't know about at all. So thank you very,
Thank
very much for
I think
this
today you have
this
given me another video idea. So I'll make another video, especially for the bachelor students, to explain to them more. So
yes.
I think over the weekend I would make another video for just to explain bachelor's application. So thank you for this idea coming from your our meeting tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate for that, and
Mhm.
I'll really do my best to promote your channel as well,
Thank you
so
so
that
much.
it will
Thank you
reach
so
so much people. You are really doing so much work. You are sharing so much knowledge that people are really missing, and I think that will really help and change people's life. For the bachelor program, I really appreciate you
yeah,
because I
yeah,
made a video about how to make money in China, and
yeah,
most students have always been contacting me because they are really stranded here, and we don't
yeah,
want you to go through these things,
yeah.
these agents lies and all those things. And yeah, before we leave, I'd like you to introduce your platform again, and
Mm.
yeah, about your platform or your social media handles, so that people can check you out, what you mostly do on your channel.
All
And
right.
yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I also want to thank you for coming around. Just I told you from the start that I didn't know that you are from my country, but it's good to connect with you. But thank you once again.
Yeah.
So my channel is basically ABJ Vlogs TV. Yes, I mentioned that I had a very growing platform earlier that was like 3,000 subscribers, and
Yes.
unfortunately I had to lose it. But now we are back again. And so
Yeah.
basically on my new platform that is ABJ Vlogs TV, what we do is that it is all about content creating on study abroad. But mainly I'm focusing on China. But once a while
Okay.
when I get content on other
Can.
countries, once I pass across any or I come across any content that is related to academics, I opportunity I'm able to share on that platform. And I just don't want to go that tangent alone that I tell you all about study abroad, but I try to blend it. So sometimes some of the videos are
Yes.
about um, lifestyle in China, and even the new episodes that will be coming would be mostly about the foods that we eat in China. I'm currently working on editing that video so that people would also see that. So I'm coming to study in China, and this is what I also have to expect. So I want to blend the two, and then people would get an overview, a complete overview of what to expect in China. So basically, that is what my channel seeks to promote. Thank you for
Yeah.
the opportunity, bro. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. Had it not been China, I don't think I would have even met you.
Exactly,
I've never been
exactly.
to the Western region, never,
Yeah,
and
you
all
see,
those things.
yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you very much for having us, and thank you very much, Dr. Aboagye. He is a PhD student, and congratulations in advance.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
he'll
much.
be graduating very soon from
Yeah.
his PhD, and we really appreciate the good work you are doing on your platform for giving
Thank
back and teaching people how to really apply for scholarship to China themselves. Thank you very much for your most
thank
precious
thank
time, for
you so
coming
much.
to explain everything in detail.
I
And
appreciate
I
I
know in
appreciate
future we'll still have you for us to
Sure,
discuss
sure,
something.
sure. My doors are always open. My doors are
Yeah,
always open. Yeah, I think
yes. So
we can collaborate and then explain more things to people.
yes, yes, yes. Sure. So thank you very much. And guys, this is where we'll end our live stream about how to apply for scholarship yourself. Thank you very much for staying tuned, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and stay tuned, stay blessed, take care. Bye bye.